Abruzzese dialect. No, wait. I like Ecolinguist.
Ciao a tutti, quindi.
You know what's so weird? Ooh, Lucranieri. Yeah, that's it. I'm not watching the whole thing. I'm watching a little bit. I'm watching the first 10 minutes maybe. But wait, Abruzzese. I'm Italian, of course, and Abruzzese is a type of Italian. It's a region, Abruzzo. But if you were to ask me right this second, what does an Abruzzese sound like? I wouldn't be able to tell you. What the heck does have I ever met anyone from Abruzzo? Do they even exist? Abruzzese. Yeah, as you can see here on the little map, Abruzzo is like in the middle of Italy, side of Rome, sort of. So it's still in the center, but on the other coast. What on earth do they sound like? I don't know. Let's check it out.
Ciao a tutti, quindi, benvenuti al canale di Ecolinguist. Io sono Claudia, sono abruzzese e io vi volesse fandare con della lingua me.
Okay, this is fascinating. I think it's the first time in my life, even though I'm a native, it's the first time in my life I hear an Abruzzese full-on regional language. He's going into what in Italy we call dialects. You know what it sounds like? Oh, he's gonna get mad if I say it though. I see it has a lot in common with Neapolitan. That's crazy. Let's see.
Abruzzese è una parlatura che fosse un dialetto settentrionale della
Ca fosse un dialetto settentrionale. What? What? Wait.
parlatura che fosse un dialetto settentrionale della lingua napoletana.
There we go. He's saying it kind of sounds like he's talking about. I do understand him though. That's funny. I do understand him. Wait.
Che si chiama così perché non perché è la lingua della città di Napoli, ma perché era la lingua comune dello regno di Napoli.
So it is connected to Neapolitan. I'm not going nuts. He's saying it was because it was the common. It's considered a northern Neapolitan dialect, not because it has to do with the city of Naples, but because it was part of the kingdom of Naples. Man, I understand the guy. I understand him, no problem so far. And it does sound a lot like Neapolitan, but it doesn't at the same time. It's like it doesn't sound like Neapolitan from the city of Naples, but it has a lot of this is fascinating stuff. This gentleman is from Mexico. From this, is she a Catalan speaker? Sorry if you're a Catalan and this is not your, I don't know what flag this is, but I love that Luc Ranieri doesn't have the American flag. He has got Senatus Populusque Romanus, because glory to Rome, my man has got his priorities right.
E stiamo a vedere se altre persone che parlano, altre cristiane che parlano altre lingue romanze, riesce a capire l'abruzzese.
Yeah, I understood everything so far, 100%. It's funny that he used something that we do in Sicilian, in my regional dialect or language. He, instead of saying people, he says Christians. This is something we do in Sicilian. In Sicilian, if I want to say, who's this guy, I would say, questo cristiano. It's one of the ways to say it. Or, stamattina vitti un cristiano davanti a putia, which means this morning I saw a person or a guy in front of a shop. Stamattina vitti un cristiano davanti a putia. Cristiano, and it doesn't mean that he's a Christian. It just, well, I guess probably the medieval origin of that is that everybody was a Christian. So if you say I saw a Christian, it just means I saw a person. Isn't that fascinating? And interestingly enough, a subscriber of mine who is Muslim told me that they have the same thing, but in their own language, in Arabic, I think. I don't know, it's variety. And he said that they say, yesterday I saw a Muslim, and they mean it as a person. I think it's really cool.
Hola,
Laura.
sí, jo em dic Laura i sóc catalana, sóc d'un poble de prop de Barcelona i m'agraden molt les llengües i per això tinc un canal al YouTube que es diu Couch Polyglot.
I understood like 80%, 90% in fact. Just no, maybe more than that. I understood most of what she said, even though I have no training in Catalan at all. That's the magic of Romance languages. Let's see the French guy.
Bonjour, moi je m'appelle Alexis, je suis français, je vis en Sardaigne en Italie et je m'occupe de langue sarde et vous pouvez trouver des vidéos sur la langue sarde sur mon canal YouTube.
Yes, I did understand him. I don't know if I understood him because of Romance language connection or because I did study French. So I do speak French, and that could be the reason why I actually understood it.
Hola, yo soy Isidor, soy de México, soy profe de español.
But obviously, he said 2 sentences, and I understood them. Let's go with Latin.
Salvete omnes sub Lucius, atque etsi sum natus in Pennsylvania in America, avus et auia fuerunt Abrutienses, sed ego non novi linguam Abrutiense.
A posto.
Fantastic. Yeah, I understood him, but then again, it could be because of the Latin training. If I had to try and remove the Latin training from my head, and I thought, would I understand what he said now in fluently spoken Latin with classical pronunciation? Probably maybe 50% would be what an Italian would understand that with no training in classical. Once you do give training in classical, the percentage goes up a bit. Probably. This is fascinating.
Nu, voi dovete capire le parole che stinga a dice.
Ok.
E vai a descrivere le parole alla lingua abruzzese e vediamo se le capite. Parole numero 1. Sta parola è qualcosa che a te tutto quindi.
Once again, yes, I'm understanding everything. The Abruzzese language up to this point, not difficult from a Sicilian at all. I understand everything. I wouldn't say anything like he did. But yeah, one thing I noticed though, whenever there is a diphthong, or not really a diphthong, but the ST consonant cluster, he's pronouncing it as a sta parola. That's how he said it, sta parola. People in Naples don't do that. So that's what the people in Naples do have the sh sound with everything else. When it comes to consonants, they will say shm, shp, shka, like shk. Like they have a lot of sh sounds in Naples. It's what makes them typical, except in the ST consonant cluster. Some people in very rural areas of Sicily do, but not in the area where I'm from. So to me, this sounds a little... I don't particularly like the way of pronouncing it, let's put it this way. But apart from that, just an interesting curiosity.
Tu ci puoi mettere qualcosa sopra per farti più belle. Per esempio, un cappello. Qualcuno dicesse che è la parte più importante del corpo, senza di essere non si può cambiare. Ecco, è a donarci lo pensiero.
Okay, I've already understood what, because of course what we're doing now is that he's going to give a description in the language and we need to guess what word that is. I've already guessed it because, again, I understand everything. And it's so weird, by the way, first time I hear it ever. And the word is head.
E finalmente è la parte più a sopra del corpo, a nostra.
Tengo preguntas. ¿Puedes repetir, por favor, todo?
So he wants him to repeat everything. That's not really a question. It's not a pregunta. I like the Mexican guy, fellow long hair.
Sì, vai a ripetere tutte cose. Allora.
No. Solo es una parte del cuerpo, dijiste?
Sì, allora, sto detto che è una parte del corpo, il corpo nostro, il corpo umano. Le teniamo tutte quindi, uomini e femmine, le teniamo. Qualcuno dicesse che è la parte più importante del corpo, a nostra. Qualcuno, probabilmente gli scienziati, dicesse che è la parte più importante del corpo. Senza di essa non potremmo campare. Non ci sta una persona che...
Interesting that he doesn't seem to understand the word camba, which is to live. But in Italian, to live is vivere. The reason why I can still recognize it is because in very informal Italian, we have the verb campare, which is one way to mean to live or survive, in fact. And he's using a version of that, but it's shortened. And the P is transformed into a B, camba. But I can still recognize it because I'm familiar with campare. But he can't recognize it because I think in Spanish it's like vivir. So if he said it in standard Italian, vivere, I think he would have recognized it.
Vive è nell'essa parte del corpo. Tutte quindi le teniamo. Se ne teniamo, siamo morti.
That's one thing that he should understand instead, the Spanish speaker and the Catalan speaker, because for the verb to have in this version of, I'll say dialect and regional language interchangeably, okay? In this Abruzzese, they're using tenere, which means to hold, but they are using it as to have. And that's a common thing with Neapolitan. And these are, I guess, the only two regions that use the verb tenere like they do in Spanish. So in Spanish you can say tengo hambre to say I'm hungry, and in Neapolitan they do say tengo fame. But in Italian it's ho fame, I have hunger. That's how you say it in Italian. We do not use the verb tenere that way. The verb tenere exists in Standard Italian and in Sicilian, but both Standard Italian and Sicilian use it to just mean hold. Like I'm holding a phone.
Scrivete quello che pensate che potesse essere e dopo vediamo se...
Sí.
Todo el mundo entendió, todo el mundo tiene la respuesta
sé.
ya.
Credo.
¿Pueden hacer preguntas, por favor? Porque me siento como un tonto.
No.
Se volete potete
Alguien
domandare...
haga preguntas.
No, Isidoro, se voi potete domandare tutto quello che vuoi.
¿Cómo?
Se tu vuoi, Se tu vuoi.
Uh-huh.
Even this, in standard is se tu vuoi. In Sicilian, I would say si vuoi. He cut it. So it must be a characteristic of this region. They just shave everything off the words because he says se tu vu, if you want.
Tu puoi domandare tutto
Even that, tu pu, in standard tu puoi. So they just cut everything.
quello che tu vuoi.
Va. Ya, esta parte del cuerpo dices que todo el mundo la tiene, sin ella no podemos vivir, pero hay muchas cosas en el cuerpo sin las que no podemos vivir. ¿Es un órgano del cuerpo?
No.
Però è la parte, so detto che è la parte più sopra di tutte del corpo.
So he doesn't understand sopra. I wonder why, because I felt, how do you say sopra in Spanish? Because he's not, sopra means above.
Sopra, la parte più sopra del corpo.
La parte más alta
Yes.
es todo...
La parte più alta, sì.
Ya. Y es todo una parte con muchos órganos dentro.
If he thinks muchos órganos, then I think he's misunderstanding and he's... Oh, unless he considers, are there a lot of organs inside your head? I mean, I guess brain, are the eyes considered organs? I don't even know if they're considered organs, because I would say the only organ is the brain in your head. Visual organs, can we say that? I guess, yeah. Because I don't know if he thinks there are many organs, then he's going to think it's the trunk or the chest.
Sì.
No es un órgano específico, es...
Non è un organo, no. È una parte del corpo, però non è un organo.
Ya. Creo que...
All right.
Va buone. Putemi.
Entonces
I
escribí...
do want to try one more and then I won't react to the whole video to give people an opportunity to actually click it through the links in the description.
C'è da scrivere. Scrivete. Putemi.
Scrivete.
No? 3, 2, 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tutto quindi avete a due. Coach.
Sí, el cap.
En français, on dit la
Wow, look at that. Catalan is actually very similar to Latin. How interesting.
tête.
y cabeza en español.
Caput latine. Sed non vidi bene, Claudi. Potesne Clauditrum mostrare vocabulum aprutiense?
Coach.
Vocabulum.
És molt interessant.
Coccia.
En català, cotxe vol...
In Sicilian, coccia, if he just said coccia without context, I wouldn't understand it as head. But if he says, I hit my coccia, then yes, I would know what it is. So in context, I would understand it. In Italian, we say testa. So it's kind of similar to French, la tête. And in Italian, it's testa. But in Sicilian, we have a few. In Sicilian, you could say, you could Sicilianize the Italian word testa and say adiaisa. But in reality, we have a word and it's miruda, amiruda. I have no idea where that comes from. I don't know the etymology of that word. But I could say, chissà me miruda, to say this is my head. Or this spascia miruda, I'll break your head. It's not used a lot, but it's a Sicilian word that still came to my mind like this, so it must not be that obscure.
Vol dir, és un transport, és per... Quan vas en cotxe...
She's thinking of the
Coche
car.
en español también, pero es escrito con CH.
Sí, en català...
Coche.
No, è in abruzzese. Coach fosse la coach. Se dice coach allo centro Italia, però qualcuno dice, per esempio a Roma si dice capoccia.
In Rome they do say capoccia.
Capoccia. E invece a Napoli, allo sud dell'Italia, si dice capa.
Very true. Yeah, it's true. Capa is head in. Yeah, every region says head in a different way in Italy. Goodness gracious, how do we even communicate?
Noi diciamo
Fortasis est quaedam contractio huius verbi capoc in coch nescio. Capoc caput capitulum. Pulcre.
Però sacce che aveva dallo latino coclea. Che vuol dire, Luca? Coclea.
Oh, coclea est bestiula quaedam, bestia, animal est, quae suam domum fert in se, est simile mollusco nifallor. Coclea.
La ciamma...
Look how effortlessly he not only knew the word in Latin, even though this wasn't scripted, of course, because he just said a word and do you know that one? He's like, yeah, of course. But he even gave an explanation and definition of that word in Latin. Yeah, look always has my respect. Let's go to word number 2 so I can do another.
Pure, sta parola sa usa per parlare di no cristiana. Ma no cristiana, in abruzzese, vuol dire tutto quindi. Tutte le persone è cristiana. Tutto quindi, pure un musulmano è cristiano. Non si dice una frega persona. Non si dice la parola persona. Allora quando dice cristiana, non vuol dire cristiana, vuol dire persona. E questa parola si usa per parlare di un cristiano. E questo cristiano è un tipo particolare di cristiano che all'Europa non se ne fa più una frega, non se ne fa più parecchie all'Europa. Per me io ne tengo. Qualcuno le va, e a qualcuno mi piace.
Up to this point, I'm not sure what this word is. I'm really focusing.
Questo tipo di cristiano. E tutto quindi l'avevamo stata quando eravamo piccirilli. E non ci sta famiglia che poi anni se ne fa. La famiglia da fa sta parola, la da fa, se no non poi anni.
A family has to do this word, otherwise they can't go forward. What on earth is it?
All'inizio è piccirilli,
At first he's very young,
dopo a cresce,
then he has to grow,
e diventa un'altra cosa.
and he becomes something else. What, old? An old man? Oh, that's probably what it is. Well, that was difficult for me, so I cannot imagine. Probably because the explanation was a little roundabout, because I didn't have a problem understanding the single words. I had a problem understanding where the heck he was. I think because he said first you're young, so he did use the word piccirillo, which means a child in his dialect, but I recognize it. Then he said you grow up and you become this thing. It's gotta be an old man.
Tenete qualche questione, lo potete dire.
Dijiste que es un tipo de persona.
Sì.
That's what I mean. He says it's a type of person, and I think he means an old person, but that's a really difficult way to frame it if you want people to understand it. So in this case, if they don't understand, even the master.
Y esta persona, es lo único que entendí. No, crece y se convierte en otra cosa, pero entonces es una persona.
Very good. It's a stage of life, yeah.
Una persona en una etapa de su vida. Esta palabra se referencia a una etapa de la vida de la persona.
Very good, actually. It's impressive that you understood that.
La parola si usa solamente per una persona a un punto particolare della vita sua.
So this word is only used in a particular time of their life. That's what he's saying. It's gotta be an old man.
Della vita sua.
That's my guess.
Sí, no totes les persones arriben a aquesta etapa de la vida.
Not everyone reaches this. It's so cool that, like, I've never studied Catalan. I understood it 100%. I have studied some French, although the French guy is not speaking, so that was a waste of time. I haven't studied Abruzzese, and I understand him 100%. But of course, Abruzzese is easier because it's still connected to my native language, I guess. But this is magical that I understand these two. I do understand Luke in Latin. When he doesn't go like super intricate, then he loses me because my Latin is not as good as his. But then again, I did study Latin. I'm more impressed with understanding these two.
Tutto quindi.
Everyone? No, I think you're leading a... No, it doesn't matter, because if you die as a child, you don't reach that. So
Tutto quindi ci arriva.
I think...
Mais au début, comme au début, tu as dit que aujourd'hui, il y a plus ce genre de personnes.
All'Europa non se ne fa più una frega. E hanno problemi all'Europa.
Yeah, it's a problem, so we have too many old people, is that what he's saying? Watch him talk about immigration and cause a political debate, and then they start biting each other heads off. Oh my gosh, I hope not.
Non è un problema all'altra parte del mondo. Non è un problema all'altra parte del mondo, come l'India o l'Africa o...
Nos non sumus, recte?
No.
Però ho hem set en el passat.
No.
Yo sí.
Ne se mo.
D'acord.
Pero podemos tener una actitud así, ¿no?
But yeah, with this last thing that he said, we used to be this, but now we are not anymore. It's like, yeah, okay, it's child.
Sì.
It's gotta be.
Pero entonces, porque creo que hay varios términos que pueden hacer referencia a esta etapa de la vida. ¿Cuál buscamos? El más común, el más... bueno.
Quello che volete, io tengo 3 parole diverse per dire questa cosa.
Let's go, come on, let me give the
A posto.
medal to the Florida man.
3, 2, 1, via. Bardash, Citel, Quatrare.
Okay, what the heck? I haven't got it. Yeah, people are writing child here. I mean, I can't see Luc Ranieris, but what on earth is this?
En català jo no estava segura de la paraula, llavors jo pensava nadó és com un baby i infància és com més general per descriure una etapa
Man,
de
we
la
have a table flip here.
vida. No sabia quina paraula.
So she thought it was a child.
Yo también.
Va, Isidor.
Yo también decidí escribir
Yeah,
niño,
he said niño, child.
pero estaba pensando en la niñez como la etapa de la vida.
No, era
Oh my gosh, it's not, mate. So what on earth?
Lu Bardash, Lu Citel, Lu cristiana.
Yeah.
Alexis?
Et l'enfant, les enfants.
Et les enfants, bonjour, les enfants et la baguette.
C'est-à-dire pas...
Mais non, ce n'est pas l'enfant. Je suis désolé, mon ami, mais ce n'est pas l'enfant.
L'enfance, la personne, l'enfant.
Luc?
Equidem pravi intellexram, ego putavam difficultate messi in Europa propter nimios homines senes.
So he thought old man like me. He thought old man like me.
Vetulos esse. Se plane infans dicitur latine.
But he had a second one. Okay, never mind.
Ipse erravi autem.
Or
Nunc
not.
intellego. Id est est paucitas.
So what was it?
Hominum parvurum id est infantium in Europa.
Amen.
Intellego.
Posto. Ecco ci sta
Ok.
Bardash, che è vedalu persiana. Ci è arrivato a noi anche gli arabi, perché avevamo tenuto una frega di commercio anche gli arabi. Bardash. Citel, vedalu le lingue germaniche. La parola germanica zizza, che significa le sise delle femmine. Quatrare. La storia di Quatrare è una frega interessante perché vedalu spagnolo e perché lo sud dell'Italia
Okay,
faceva
I love the explanation. Can you tell me what on earth?
2 anni nel bardiscismo rei, no? E allora la Spagna ha detto, deciso che tu potevi registrare Fiat solamente quando tenevi 4 anni. Perché a 4 anni tu potevi dire che savevi salvato, perché non savevi morto prima. E allora a 4 anni savevi salvato. 4 años, 4 ore.
Una pregunta.
Yeah, 1,000 preguntas. I mean, that was fascinating. So for anyone else who's interested, I'm not going to continue because I've got things to do. It's got 3 more words for you. So do check it out, Ecolinguist. That was really well done. So thank you to everyone, of course, that has joined in this presentation. This was really fun to watch. I mean, Luke got it too because he turned it around. It was, yeah, that's fine. So they all got it. That was fun.